You're watching Nice Drop of Port, where the footy is hotter than Matt's head on a hot sunny day. Like, subscribe, or we'll tell your mates you're a Phoenix fan.
Good evening and welcome back to Nice Drop of Port. We are here live on a Thursday night. We are between two semi-finals. We had the away leg, Melbourne victory. Auckland FC were away in Melbourne last weekend, and we got the W, 1-0. And we're bringing that back to Go Media Stadium this weekend for the second semi-final of the A-League. Of course, Auckland FC setting another first, winning their first ever finals game. Joining us tonight, we have Matthew, as usual. Welcome, Matthew, to the show.
Thank you very much. Just about recovered from the live show. I think I'm good to go. Yeah, it
was a big one. Nathan, did you catch our live show, mate?
I did. Very much enjoyed it. You looked like you were having a whale of a time. Although you didn't really. Everyone else did. You looked like you were working. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Yeah, well done.
Thank you very much.
I missed my invite, I got to say. I didn't get an invite, so...
Well, where were you? Where were you on Saturday night?
Oh, I was being a true fan. I was watching... we were watching it on the couch in the lounge downstairs. There was some talk from amongst my mates about going to the square to watch it, and then we all realised that we're old, and that's way past bedtime. So we didn't. But it did look like fun if you were a bit younger or more sprightly like yourselves.
I think. Well, thank you for saying we're a bit younger and more sprightly, Nathan. But Matt and I also are old men who we do the podcast, and it's kind of like an excuse for the old men to be there, you know. Yeah.
No, I get that. But yeah. I don't know. It was just like such a late kickoff, wasn't it? And then I wouldn't have been able to do that sober. I don't think that would have been my downfall. I would have been like smashing the beers back before. You waited. I texted you. I was like, "Get on the beers."
I know.
Well, I've like 3 days.
I'll tell you a little story about the bar itself, Tyler Street Sport, who were lovely and had us in there, of course, and what we realised after the live broadcast, or what I realised, because I was kind of the mind, I'm like, right, that's it, I've done it. I'm going to go to the bar and get a drink now. And I don't know if you caught up, Nathan, with my life, but I'm basically, trying to cut down on the carbs and the beer and, being a little bit more kind of watching what I'm eating and drinking. So I'm on the vodka sodas these days, the vodka soda with limes. And I said, right, I'm off to the bar to get a vodka soda and lime. And Matthew declined, and my wife who was helping me declined as well. So I was like, okay, I'm on my own, then I'll go get it. A cheap round. And I got there, said, vodka soda and lime, please. And the guy behind the bar says, oh, no, that's not on the bar tab, mate. I'm like, bar tab? He's like, yeah, the tab's still open. And I'm like, the tab's still open? Okay, what's on the tab? He goes, oh, well, we've got all the wines, all the beers. And I said, oh, well, chuck us a Chardonnay, there's no point paying for a vodka soda lime.
For a Chardonnay. Okay, carry on.
I don't know. I've got a full circle, I've got a full circle.
Have we? Did we get to the bottom of the tab? I think I asked you, and you said it was Bill Foley had put the money.
Oh, no, I was just bantering with you. I was saying I was saying maybe it was Bill.
So you don't know who put this tab on for you?
If anyone knows who put the tab on at Tyler Street Sport for the game, well, thank them. I had a nice couple of Chardonnays.
Unless it was part of the ticket, but that's like really, that would be one hell of a ticket to put something like that behind it. So I'm not sure. Yeah.
Wow, I'm really annoyed you didn't invite me.
Yeah. If someone says the bar tab, I don't ask too many questions. Usually.
No. Why would you?
But funny enough, I had 2 Chardonnays and then just got wrapped up with the game. Of course, we watched the game in there and big screen. The Port were kind of like the big Port boys, were down, the big dogs, as you'd call them, Nathan, were down the other end. And there was a lot of fans up our end. But yeah, watching it on the big screen was great. And I think funny enough, obviously the goal going in was amazing and cue great celebrations for me. Guillermo Mai, when he scored the goal that was disallowed, that was a big moment because I kind of thought in my heart, it's done, it's done, and then it was disallowed. So it was kind of a bit depressing having that goal disallowed, I thought.
Well, things like that. I thought the post was more depressing because that would have wrapped it right up, right?
The double post for Moreno, yeah.
Yeah, right at the end that goes in, and you're like, that's a final ticket right there. But now it's 1-0 and anything can still happen, right? So
yeah, I can't think of many times where I've seen the ball hit the inside of the post,
no,
go back onto the other side of the post, and then just come back.
yeah,
It just
it's very rare.
I cannot think of a time where that's happened. It usually hits the inside, goes in, hits the other post, and go. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I thought that. Yeah, you're right. I thought if that goes in, that's it, isn't it? It's all done.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna overcome 2-0. You know?
Yeah, well, they were saying that victory. Well, I don't know who they are, but people that talk about football were saying the victory probably needed a 2-0 win to bring to Auckland to have a chance. So yeah, we're 1-0 up. We're 1-0 up at half time. I mean, anything can still happen. We'll get into kind of this week's game coming up. But let's first of all think about that game over in Melbourne. The selection of the team surprised a few. We in our live podcast down at Tyler Street Sport, a lot of people were saying, thinking that we were going to go 5 at the back. What was Nathan? What was your view on the team Steve selected in the end?
I don't have any problems with that. I think that if you haven't got Mata to play with Mai, then I think you've got he makes the wings a threat with Francois and Logie, and the midfields too are pretty solid. And Randall's, I mean, I don't know what I make of Randall really. I think he's in that in between phase. I don't actually know how old he is, but he seems to me he's still in that kind of quite young phase where he's not quite the finished, not the finished article, but he's not quite at the level, but he's also not like he's good enough to be there. So, and like he runs a lot, right? And so I thought, well, okay, he's going to give energy. Mai's going to give this the kind of nous and skill. And so my main thing was, as long as the back four is De Vries, Pinecker, Hall, and Sakai, I
That's
think.
right. As long as that's in place and Paulson in it, then
I'm okay with that.
I didn't think he'd go for 5 only because he's only done it a couple of times, hasn't he? And it's never really been that convincing. And he kind of goes there usually when he's seeing out games with 20 minutes to go or whatever. So yeah, there's no surprises for me. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something similar tomorrow, right? Or Saturday.
Yeah, Matthew, what was your thoughts on the team that got selected?
Yeah, I must admit, I was going around boring anyone that would listen to me saying that it's going to be 5 at the back. It's going to be, it's 3 in the middle. He's not going to play Francois. I mean, who would have thought? Who would have thought that Steve Corica would have gone against a guy that pops on a podcast every Thursday night and just throws 11 guys together?
What does he know?
And then what does he know exactly? Why has he been put in that position? But yeah, I mean, I almost have to give a bit of that.
Why did you think that, Matt? Why did you think he's going to go 5 at the back? What on earth?
I just thought, it's that old cliche where you can't win it in the first leg, but you can kind of lose it in the first leg. And I thought he played 5 at the back in the last time they played Victory away, and I thought they did quite well. And they really, all the talk was about Azani and is it Falupale, the 2 wingers, and those guys got completely nullified when they played 5 at the back. Sakai and Elliott teamed up on the right hand side, and I think De Vries is enough on his own on the left hand side. So I just thought that made a lot of sense. But I mean, thinking about it even more, Steve might have just, it's kind of maybe that's what they thought we were going to play, because I thought Francois was a surprise. I really didn't think he was going to play. He didn't feel like a player that would start such an important game, a first leg of a playoff. So big old. If you're listening, Francois, apologies, because I thought that was his best game.
He had a good game, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he had a very good game. I thought he did the role well. And, you mentioned about the team. More or less, 8 or 9 pick themselves, don't they? The 5 at the back, 2 guys in the middle. May always plays up front. And then it's that kind of, is it Brimmer? Is it Rogerson? Is it Randall? Is it Gillian? They're the kind of guys that kind of come in and come out. So
I don't know if we've seen Marley Francois and Randall in the same team before, though. It seemed a little bit kind of gung-ho, but absolutely proved right, because
he's got it again.
I mean, I watched some of the game back, and we were by far the team who had the most chances. If you look at that first half, even the first few moments, we were creating chances. Balls sort of getting saved, and I can't remember. There was a bunch of chances, wasn't there? When I was in the pub, I can't remember. It was just so frenetic. But what I'm trying to get to is I don't remember too many Melbourne Victory chances. They seem to have a lot of possession, but we are far more impactful with the ball. Would you boys agree with that, particularly in this game?
Yeah, I think. I think so, and that's kind of the way that Auckland have been playing all season, right? They've been solid. This is like the whole foundation of the Premier Plate win. Solid at the back, very good on transition, and good at using the ball and creating the chances when you need to. And I think that the just building on what you're saying there, I think that the 4-4-2 as it was, or however you want to, maybe 4-5-1 formation is kind of like they just know what they're doing. Everyone knows what their role is, and they know the passing lanes to block off. They know when to press, when not to press. They know when they're going to spring the transitions, and it's actually just looking at such a well-oiled team and a well-drilled team that the reason I think that they kept Melbourne at arm's length is just because they were so. It was like Roy Hodgson. I don't want to say it's like Roy Hodgson's 4-4-2 that would go from side to side, but it's kind of along those lines. I just feel like you almost can't pass them. Right, you get past one blue shirt, there's another one coming at you, or white shirt, or whatever it was on Saturday. So yeah, I never agree with you.
Matt, we were talking about this just before. Very direct, almost an old-fashioned team performance, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's the old. They had 60% of the possession, but they just didn't really do anything with it.
Victory had 60%.
Sorry, Victory had 60%. Yeah, it's the there's a lot of people that kind of get a bit switched off with football these days because it's the old Pep Guardiola. There's a bit of a law goes around, or a rule goes around, that if you can dominate possession, if you can get 65-70% of the possession, then that's that's one of the criteria to tick off the list that you're going to win a lot more games than you're going to lose. But the problem is if you just don't do anything with it, and that's exactly what Victory did it with. I don't think they had a shot on target. So of all the possession and all the passes that they might have had, they just didn't do anything with it. And Auckland, like you said, I think Auckland are a lot more. They're definitely a lot more dynamic, but they just do a lot more with it. I mean, again, I hate to go into the stats, but the XG, Melbourne, I think, was 0.3 goals to expect. Of course, if you're not going to have a shot on target, Auckland were almost up in the 2 regions. So
how do they work out the XG? I used to see it in Football Manager. What is that?
I think the very simple way is that they've analysed all the goals that have been scored by people, and they give it a rating of the chance. So a penalty, I think, is like 0.8. It's almost practically worth a goal. You should be scoring. So if the ball comes across and the goal, you've taken the goalkeeper and you've got to tap the ball in from about 2 yards, the XG on that is like 0.98. Like you'd have to do something extremely bad to miss, and that's how they calculate it. Yeah. So but it's obviously not. It's obviously flawed because people are better at certain things. Not everyone hasn't got a finisher up front, so a chance for one person is different from the other. But it just shows, Auckland had plenty of shots. They did a lot more with the ball, and Melbourne Victory just didn't seem to. The two guys, Azani was completely nullified, wasn't he? The guy on the guy that everyone was talking about,
Mr. Azani, who says that Auckland FC's, or he said we're a little bit one-dimensional in the way Auckland FC plays. I think he said that before the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to. Mr. Azani, I think, has gone missing. I think someone needs to check De Vries's back pocket because I think that's where he lives these days. He got absolutely monstered in that game. And to give it the old, I saw the interview with Corica saying that the ball that De Vries crossed, it was just a nothing ball. He's just hit and hoped.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then the guy interviewing Corica is going, do you know who the person was that De Vries kind of knocked the ball past and then crossed the ball in? And Corica's like, I guess because we're talking about Azani, it was Azani, and it was, he just did him on the wide, took it on the outside, crossed the ball in, and the rest is history, I suppose. Yeah.
He has so much impact, De Vries, with his crosses, and even just a little bit before that, there was a corner which he just put on the striker's head perfectly. I mean, he's got some phenomenal set piece and crossing skills. And I think when you've got him in the team, you've got a chance, basically, certainly at this level, with crosses like that.
I think anyone that's watched Auckland this season would know that De Vries has got an incredibly good left foot on him. And if you are like, there's no question whatsoever that was a mistake. That was never a mistake. Like, he meant to put it right where he put it, and he does it 3 or 4 times a game, right? And it's it's a great outlet, considering he's the left back, right? He's got such dexterity of movement for such a big guy as well, and he just you can almost guarantee he's going to put at least 2 or 3 good quality crosses into the box per game, can't you? So I don't know why that guy would even suggest that he didn't know what he was doing. Like 100%, he does it all the time.
Is it horseplay? You know, when they try and wind the opposition up.
He's actually bigger than I thought. De Vries. He's actually quite tall. I noticed that when I went to watch the last game live. Yeah, I noticed that actually he's up there. You know, you could play him in the central defence if you had to. Yeah. Yep. He's quite a tall guy.
It's probably a big list of things you noticed when you went to the last game, though, Matt. All new experiences.
I was right at the top. I was the Wally with the brolly. Dale tried to pull me into the port. He's like, "Come into the port." I'm like, "No, I'm gonna."
Wally with the brolly.
But I don't think I haven't got a choice this weekend. I'm right in the mix.
Oh yeah, you're bad.
We'll get down the port this
right
weekend.
Into the mix. It should be good though. It's going to be a nice evening, I think, on Saturday. So it's going to be cold, but it'll be good amongst the port, I suppose. So yeah.
How do we feel the squad would have felt going away 1-0? Pretty confident going into the second leg.
Oh, I think you've got to be delighted. Like, they're 100% in the driver's seat. You've gone away to a tough place. You've come away with a win and a clean sheet, and you know that all you need is to literally keep a clean sheet and you're through to the final. I mean, that's as simple. And what Auckland have been very good at, keeping clean sheets this season. So that's number one. Number two, you're at home where, maybe we'll get onto crowd sizes later, but it's going to be a full house at Go Media, and it's going to be raucous and it's going to be loud. And I think, how could you be feeling anything else but elated that you're going away with a 1-0? I mean, obviously, would have been nice if the post hadn't happened and it had gone post goal. But at the end of the day, they're in such a strong position. Everyone would know. Everyone knows it.
It's going to be so tough for Melbourne. I just don't know. Yeah, I mean, again, the playoffs when I think about back in the UK, when you have to go to the home ground, you've lost the away leg and you've got to try and beat them at the home leg. It's such a tough position to be. You've got to come out. It's the old you've got to get the first goal. It's that old cliche again, isn't it? If Auckland get the first goal, that's it. I mean, this is where Robbie would be quite handy. There might be some people coming back, maybe. I don't know if there's any injuries or people that they might be able to play in the second leg that they didn't play in the first leg, but yeah, I think it's going to be pretty tough to go to Auckland and turn a 1-0 around here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, mind you, it is only 1-0, and it would have been nice to have that second goal going into this game. It is almost. Go on.
Dale, sorry to interrupt, but one that's right here during the commentary on Saturday was that Melbourne now have played 3 games against Auckland this season, and haven't scored a goal against us. So for them now
that's a good start.
Score 2.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a huge mountain to climb, and don't forget, like we're looking at the other semi-final, even Melbourne City Western, of course, Melbourne City won 3-0. But looking at the attendance, in that game, I think it was it 5,000 or something in Amy Park Stadium.
Yeah,
it kind of just shows that, like, no one else is playing in front of massive packed crowds of 30,000. There's a huge difference with Auckland FC now and the rest of the league almost.
You said that good article to me. I think is it the Raw, the guy
Brisbane.
that writes it. Yeah, the article. I think it's the somebody writes it. I thought they made a good point where you had Melbourne Victory as the first team, and then they just dropped another team into Melbourne a few years later. But if you live in Melbourne and you're a Melbourne Victory fan, why would you then Melbourne City would come along. Why would you just turn yourself into a Melbourne City fan? And
there
then
was no geographical difference as well between the two clubs.
And then you add another one a little bit further to the west or whatever, isn't it? Because Western United.
Well, it's way out west, isn't it? There are no houses there yet. Like, that's how west it is.
Well, that's how stupid that is. But at least it's kind of a bit more geographical of difference. But to stick another team in the same city and call it the same, but with what are you going to do? How do you?
They did something similar in back in the UK in Birmingham. There was a team called Aston Villa, and then
here we go.
Another team called Birmingham City, and no one, even to this day, no one really follows Birmingham City. So it's very, very similar. I know what you mean, Matt. Yeah,
You might wonder out there why we're allowed Premiership teams' colours on today. It's obviously Spurs have won the Europa League today, so if I'm going to wear my Spurs shirt on YouTube and Facebook, I may as well do it today.
May as well. Yeah.
17 long years Spurs took to win a trophy, and they've picked one up, which was wonderful. And of course, A-League manager.
That's painful for me because I used to say that we'd won something more recent than you had, but that's it now, isn't it? That stat's been put to bed. Yeah.
I think Domino's Pizza parked some van outside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium saying how many pizzas they'd sold since Tottenham last won a trophy. and it was a lot of numbers. It looked like it was like 1 billion or something. It was a lot.
Aston Villa's must be getting up there now.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, last won a trophy, Nathan.
2006, we last won a trophy.
Oh, really?
It's been a long old wait. That
2011.
Well done.
Well, we might this season we might have Birmingham City win. Well, we have already. Birmingham City, Spurs, and Auckland FC all won a trophy in the same season. Who'd have thought that at the beginning of this year?
Couldn't put the odds on that.
Not me.
Absolutely. That's a hell of an acca, as we call it back in the UK, an accumulator. That's got to be worth at least. It's got to be worth at least a fair bit of money. That one, with the Birmingham kicker at the end. Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I've really enjoyed supporting Auckland FC this year. So I've got 2 trophies in the bag and hoping for a third. With my teams. Incredible season in football. I didn't actually know what to do this morning because obviously we watch these games at weird hours, don't we, from the UK? And I'm not going out to a pub or anything. I'm just sitting there watching it and trying to wrangle a toddler and whatnot. And it kind of it was such a big moment, and then the broadcast just finishes, and you're just like, oh, okay, well, let's go do some work or something.
It's weird. I know. I don't think you'll get used to that. I don't know how you ever will. Yeah.
No, well, when we win every year now, it's going to be hard, to know what to do.
Yeah, sure. At least you got the Auckland thing to take the edge off it. At least it's an evening.
We've talked about that. It's been great. So Nathan, you're off to the game, are you? The semi-final, of course.
Yeah, sure am. Yeah.
And you sit up in the big stand, right, where all the advertising is, over that side, like not the side where the coaches and the dugouts are. You're over the other.
Yeah, the other side. Yeah. The big stand. Yeah, okay. Is that what we call it? I thought it was the east stand.
West?
Isn't it?
West, hold on. Well, the port's south, so that must be east.
Yeah, east. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So you're over there in the east. Oh, let's not get into that.
I'll take your word for it.
Basically, there are 500 tickets left. I confirmed with the club a few hours ago. And so it's almost a sellout. And those 500 tickets, would you believe it, are the Melbourne Victory allocation, which have been put back into the pool. Wow. So Melbourne couldn't sell whatever their allocation was.
I thought they've got sold them. Right, okay.
Have they got anybody coming over? They've got a few.
I don't know. I didn't get those details, but if they've given maybe they offered them 500 and they didn't want any of them. I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
That's a tough gig, though, isn't it? Coming over to Auckland with a 1-0, deficit, and you've got to turn that around. And,
I mean, they're active support. The Northern Terrace. They're at loggerheads with the club. I don't know if you guys know this, but the kind of equivalent of the port, if you like, over in Melbourne, they're called North Terrace or Northern Terrace. They're total loggerheads with the club. They have they boycotted the hardcore fans actually boycotted that last semi-final. Over some bans that their people were given. So yeah, if you want more details, look on the internet about that one. But yeah, so what I'm trying to get to is Melbourne Victory. They don't seem like they're enjoying their time as much as we are. Like 30,000 Aucklanders are going to go to a football match this weekend. I mean, that is unheard of in this country.
Yeah. That's
I
insane.
gotta say, it's incredible. It's such a good vibe, isn't it? And obviously the winning helps, and the success has immediately helped. I mean, I just gotta say, I just think it's so disappointing. I know all your stuff you guys have just said, and to put things in context, but both of the semi-finals in Australia it was like empty stadium to and it's like you're like, come on, like how. I don't really understand the finances of this whole thing, but like if you're not pulling crowds in, how does a club remain financially viable?
Year after year, how do they keep going on
I don't get it.
5,000 people coming to a semi-final? What's that all about?
Yeah.
And I just think it's such a shame as well, because actually, if this football wasn't here, then what would we be? You know what I mean? Like you say, we would be sitting there every morning in our underpants watching English football and whatever. But yeah, so it is great for us. It is awesome to have Auckland in selling out, and to have the atmosphere, and to have, no doubt they'll have loads of stuff on for kids and whatever, and to have the port. Like there's just so much stuff that goes on at these games that I can't give the club enough credit for it, really. Apart from how much they're putting the season tickets up by next year, but that's a different subject. That's a sort.
Well, there's a little bit of. We won't get into the ticket stuff because I think Matt's going to talk about the ticket stuff, aren't you?
Am I?
Aren't you? Oh no, I thought that was in your Matt on the socials. Oh dear.
Oh no, I don't think I have got anything in the tickets.
Oh, that's okay. Well, there's a little bit of there is some grumbling about the semi-final tickets, and then there's grumbling of expectation that the final tickets will be potentially another third on top of what we're paying for a semi-final ticket. That's the rumours.
Really?
Rumours. That's not been confirmed. I just saw that on the internet.
Yeah,
the other rumor is the other rumor is that the final will definitely be at Mount Smart. I saw that floating around today on the socials.
Wow. So what the? Okay, what did you say? How much on? So okay,
about another third, because they've sort of almost doubled what Auckland was charging. Don't forget, for anyone that doesn't know, the A-League actually take over ticketing and arranging the finals. Basically, Auckland FC don't set the price tickets or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, but it.
So we're talking about 55, 60 bucks low end. The cheapest ticket,
maybe even more, because I think the cheapest one for the semis was about 45, 46 with all the bits. So maybe $70 for the cheapest one, which adds up if you've got like family of four going,
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah, and also like you said, well, as we mentioned, that's going to be the low end. So there's going to be, in the bigger stands undercover. I noticed they're more like 70, 80 bucks for this game. So,
And so up where the grass is, sorry, Nathan, I'll just finish this. So up where the grassy verges, they're putting in. There's kind of like 3 new sections. Looks like there's one long one at the bottom, and then 2 either side of the bank. They're going to somehow get seats on the bank.
Well, that's interesting. Okay.
Sorry, what were we going to say, Nathan?
Oh, I was just going to say, I think our family of 4, which is 2 adults, 2 kids, I think that's coming to about 180 bucks. So I think, in fairness, like they've given as a member, I guess I get some kind of discount, maybe whatever on that. So that's okay-ish. But then when if you go to like buy any, even with the discount family and friends stuff, it's like you're looking at 60, 70, 80 bucks per ticket, even for kids. So a lot of money. But you're saying it's the league that charges that, Dale. So
as soon as the finals start, it's handed over to the A-League. They are in total control of the finals, where they are selling tickets. It's through Ticketmaster, which is different to, I think, the club. The club sells tickets. So we've had that on good authority that Auckland FC aren't involved, and I guess it is a little bit kind of like, well, hold on, over there in Aussie, you're struggling to get 5,000 in, but here we're packing 30,000 in. Don't kill the golden goose,
That's right.
Like if you've got 30,000 people who are interested in buying football tickets, let's not take the piss too much and put the tickets up.
Yeah, well,
that's my view.
It's a balancing act, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a balancing act. So we actually a nice job report for anyone watching and listening who hasn't got tickets to the semi-final. We're having a bit of a giveaway. We've actually got 2 tickets to give away, a pair of tickets, which is quite exciting to be able to help some people out that haven't got a ticket yet, or may have wanted to go but couldn't afford a ticket. And all you've got to do is make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. So if you're watching this elsewhere, mate, come onto YouTube and subscribe to Nice Job Report, and drop into the comments on any of our videos the words "I'm in." All right.
What was that again, Dale?
You got to drop "I'm in" into one of our comments on any of our videos that are on YouTube. I'm in. And make sure you subscribe. You have to no. If you hit "I'm in" and you don't subscribe, you won't go in the hat to win the tickets. You've got to subscribe and you've got to hit "I'm in," and then we are going to draw the winner by 10 a.m. Saturday, and we'll get in touch with you via YouTube and send you a couple of tickets. So I'm not quite sure where those tickets are in the ground. Don't ask me.
You mean yeah? Like,
well, they're definitely in the ground. They're definitely at the ground.
Sounded like you got no idea where the physical ticket is. It's like
I've lost the tickets.
One's on the top of one of them. You have to go to the top of Mount Wellington or Mount Albert or whatever it is, and then the other one is in the deepest depths of that new.
Don't ask me. I'll be busy Saturday. Don't ask me where these tickets are.
How much do you really want to get to the game? Do you want to go high or do you want to go low?
It's a treasure hunt. It's the treasure hunt.
To find the tickets. Yeah.
Well, that's great. Yeah. Go on, Matt. Sorry.
Oh no, no, you carry on.
I was just going to say that's money can't buy stuff, right? Pretty much, give or take, right? So, geez, good gig, mate. Well done.
That's right. Yeah. Well, we won't say where they've come from, but someone's donated them, so that's great. So yeah, get in touch with us. Chuck it in the comments. I'm in. Give us a subscribe. It's going to be really interesting to see those seats on the north stand over in the grass there, because we're so used to just seeing a bank of grass, right? It's going to be interesting. So midway between the semis, we're going to have one of our little regular features now. We are going to have Matt on the socials. Here's the music. There we go.
It's quite good.
Like that.
What have I got in the socials? I mean, most of the I'll just let this go for a little bit. You gotta know when. You gotta know when to let the music go. When to start talking. I think just get people. So I'll start the first social. Obviously, we all know who DJ RL Grime is. I think that goes without saying, doesn't it? I think we all obviously know who that is.
DJ
RL Grime. Not
RL Grime.
Yeah, not to be confused with DJ LR Grime.
No.
DJ RL.
I don't like to confuse those two.
No, you can make yourself look a bit silly if you get those two confused.
Right.
Well, he was wearing an Auckland football jersey at an EDC Las Vegas concert over the weekend, which is quite cool because you see a lot of artists and DJs. They do find themselves wearing the local shirt, or if a shirt seems to be quite cool or in at the moment. I've seen people wearing kind of like retro shirts at Glastonbury, or some people have rocked up on stage with others. So, yeah, I mean, what's that say? Auckland are hot.
Are we saying that
trend?
Yeah, are we saying that the kind of one of the trend clubs in the world right now is Auckland FC?
Auckland.
I mean, I guess. Yeah, I mean, Wrexham would be one of the trend clubs. I mean, Tottenham Hotspur, obviously, they've just won a trophy. They'd be one of the trend clubs.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Birmingham have won League Two or whatever it is they're in by 1,000 points.
Into Miami, they'd be a trend club, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
Miami, they're big. Yeah,
that pink shirt's quite popular. So so Auckland
is he American? Is this rapper? Is he American? Is he? He's not a Kiwi, is he?
No, he's American. I've got American down. I'm hoping you haven't got any more questions about what he's what he does and what he sings.
Who am I game? Yeah, don't go too deep.
I've kind of given you all the information that I know about him. He's American. He's a DJ.
If you need any more information,
and he's wearing,
it's all there.
He's saying just what, as you said. Yeah, that's right. Google it, as the kids would say. So that was the first one. I thought ChatGPT. Yeah, I'm showing my age with Google it. So that's there's that. We're going to try our first time of trying to play something. So this is Auckland. Some Auckland football players reacting to their. See, this is another thing. I need to do a bit more research for this, but I think every football player gets his own FIFA card.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
think, I think you've seen this, and the trend is to present this FIFA card to the player. And kind of, I've seen little games, you know, they've sat there and they've got to try and guess, you know, what's your pace and what's your dribbling and what's your physicality. So Auckland have joined the party here. And this is just a quick video just to show them kind of reacting to their FIFA card. And I've got a few points, and I should have actually tried to hide it and see. Actually, we'll have a little quiz. So the first person they speak to is Tommy Smith.
Right.
Okay. So I think it's out of 100. I think it's out of 100.
And he has to guess what they've given him for a certain attribute.
No, I'm going to give that. I'm going to give that to you. They're just reacting to what they see. They're going to have a look at it and go, "Oh, they've done me dirty on this," or "Oh, I'm quite happy with that."
So what have we got to guess? What Tommy Smith was given for?
What do you think Tommy Smith's pace is? And I think
out of
it's
100.
Out of 100. I think it is out of 100. Yeah.
50.
65. Oh yeah, probably closer to 50.
I'm just over 50. 52.
60.
Okay. All right. I'll pick another player. I've got 3
He's
players.
not any quicker, is he?
Francis de Vries. What do you think his defense is?
Oh, 79.
Is this what's it compared with though? Is it compared with like on a world level, or is it sort of on an A-League level? Or I mean, that's
maybe.
I don't think we need to go too deep on this.
Test.
You know, let's
80. I'll give him 81. He's so good. 81.
What's the answer?
I love that.
Do we watch a video? Are we?
I'll show you the video. It might be difficult. If you can't see it, I'll give it to you anyway. And Hall, what do you think Hall's defense is? I should have given you another one.
Ooh, 84.
Hall's defense.
Danny Hall.
84.
I mean, if it's judged, you know, with his contemporaries at A-League level, don't know why I've done that.
I love the depth. I love this. I do these quizzes with my wife, and she's like, "Oh, don't ask me to rate things. I hate when you ask me to rate things. No. You are perfect, though.
I've got subsequent questions.
You've got. I thought you could say you've got substance. I'd agree. I'd say that as well. As well.
All right, I'll give him 79.
All right, here we go.
Right.
Should we get? Well, I think
go on then.
Here comes the.
See if you can make the tech work.
Right in the.
Matt's hitting some of the buttons.
Can I just before you do that, before you press start, someone on the chat here, Auckland FC says, "I think it's compared to worldwide performance." And in that case, I want to revise my score. Ooh. All of them.
Thank you, Auckland FC.
Yeah,
well,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm revising as well.
Well,
Tommy Smith's you get 22 now.
Yeah. You know what? I would strongly consider that you do rethink your numbers.
All right, thank you. All right, I'm going to say pace for Tommy Smith.
Careful editing.
Yeah.
I'm going down.
What do you say?
I said 60 for his pace, and I think I'm going to go down to 50. And I think defending for Tommy Smith, which is the other one, right, for him.
Oh no, Hall. No,
just Hall. Danny Hall defending.
Sorry, I had Hall defense and I had De Vries defense as well.
Sorry, okay, yeah. So Hall defense, I'm going down to 69, and De Vries defense, I'm going down to 65.
Okay, and Hall's defense? Oh no,
69. Danny Hall,
69. Yeah,
that sounds fair. That sounds fair.
Right,
I think I'm just throwing numbers around now, so let's just get into it.
Let's go.
I forgot what I said now. Here we go.
Hit play.
Yeah, right?
Your picture's done me dirty as well.
No, that's a bronze. All right, Jake Bremer, we're here talking about your FIFA card, my friend.
Bit harsh on the pace. Shooting, they obviously haven't seen me score absolute worldies in a while, so that's gone down a bit. Wait, 39 pace? Oh my god. Tommy!
Disgraceful pace.
I think you're a bit quicker than that personally.
I think I'm slower than all the goalkeepers on FIFA, right?
Who reckon's the highest rated?
Oh, it's got to be Hiroki.
Highest rated in the team?
Highest rated?
Yeah. Oh yeah, in the team? Should be faster.
It's great.
What do you think about your FIFA card, my friend?
Positively surprised, mate. Decent photo. Oh, is it a rare card?
No, that's a bronze.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, you know, it's like the fancy thing. I'm pretty happy with that.
We've got a Dan Hall over here. Hey, bro, what do you think about your FIFA card, mate?
I'm silver this year, so I'll take it.
I heard you got a little bit of an upgrade.
I got a +1, but the pace is all that matters.
We got Logan Rogerson here. What do you reckon your FIFA?
There we go.
All right.
Could you see the numbers?
Just about.
Nah, I couldn't see them. I'm on a little screen.
I mean, unfortunately, Tommy Smith got 39 pace.
39 pace, yeah. What did Dan Hall get defending against worldwide?
63.
63? That's not bad.
I thought De Vries got 59 defence, but I think the one that really stands out for De Vries that I think is quite bad is that he got 62 for passing, and I think of all the options that were available, crossing would probably be included in passing. I don't think there was any other metric that would probably do that. So I think he was a bit harsh to have 62.
Do you think Francis de Vries could go on again and play a higher level? Because we talk a lot about him. Because
39 pace. I think, like he said, I think the goalkeepers had more than that.
Right. Yeah. Well, Tommy's like all of us getting on a bit, isn't he?
Yeah,
I do.
That's what happens.
Francis de Vries, I was just going to say, like, do we feel that he could go on and play another level higher because of his quite unique, ball skills, basically, or does he not have the rest of the game to go back to the UK and play in the Championship or something? Is he? What do we think about that? I only mention because Western Sydney Wanderers, I think they sold one of their best players to Aberdeen last week, about €500,000 or something they got for him. I forget his name. Apologies. But got me thinking. I mean, what sort of figures might be thrown around for some of our Auckland FC players? Would you take De Vries or
I think you get
GMO up to the Scottish League or something?
Well, you get them all in the Scottish League, right? Because you and I could still play in the Scottish League, Dale. So that's point number one.
So good at the moment, Nathan.
Even with one knee.
I thought League One was going to be mentioned then.
Well, I would then
pass with my other foot, yeah.
And that too.
I would say that they would be top end League One players, stroke Championship players. I mean, I don't think they're Premier League quality, but De Vries, especially left back, having seen Championship football, I can't see why he wouldn't make it there. I don't think he would. The problem is with someone like De Vries or whoever, like, is a Championship club going to come and get someone from here? Really, I don't think that's. I think it's unlikely, really, isn't it? Because there's plenty of other players at that level in League One right now that they could get for the same kind of money, right? And it wouldn't be that much of a risk. It would be a risk.
But why have Aberdeen bought someone from Western Sydney Wanderers then? Like, how often?
I don't know where they finished in the league. I don't know where they finished in the league this season, but sometimes it works, right? And
I guess they're both different kind of points in their career. I think that guy's about 21, 22. There's probably there's a lot of raised the ceiling quite a bit with that guy, whereas with De Vries. But hey, I've watched a lot of League One football this season for my sins, and De Vries could definitely do a job at left back. I've watched some horrific people play it in League One football. So I think De Vries would more than hold his own at that level. Yeah.
Is that video fresh? Auckland FC says, isn't this video from the beginning of the season, Matthew?
I don't know. No, actually, I just saw the video pop up and thought, oh yeah, I'll play that. Liked it. I don't know. I'd have to probably get back to That's okay. It was that one or Hiroki Sakai enjoying some local Kiwi delights, some food. I think he tries a Marmite sandwich. He tries a pineapple lump, and then he tries. Raro. The drink.
Oh, Raro. Yeah.
Raro. So they get him to. Yeah, he actually rips open the sachet, and they just get him to pour the sachet straight into the mouth. Well, so those are the three things that they get him to eat. So and weirdly enough, he rates the Raro number one of all three.
Right. Yeah. So, well, pineapple lumps are terrible. I mean, we're all pommies, so we're like, what are these things? But I know there's a cultural attachment to pineapple lumps.
And veggie bites a bit. Yeah, who knows what you're gonna.
Well, Marmite, isn't it? Is this, but not the real Marmite.
That's right. Yeah.
Fake.
That's right.
Yeah, the fake stuff. Yeah, that's right.
The fake stuff. Well, I'll tell you a story about Kiwi Marmite. I mean, I've been here almost 18 years, so I think I'm well placed to talk. When the earthquakes happened in Christchurch, is it Sanitarium that make it? Their factory was down in the South Island, and they couldn't make any Kiwi Marmite, and they started to import more of the British stuff, and apparently then a lot of customers didn't want to go back to the Kiwi Marmite. That's what I heard. Yeah, it was getting too popular. The little black pots with the yellow lid, English Marmite.
Yeah,
and
right.
They kind of had to sort of like block it a little bit. That's what I heard. Yeah. Anyway.
There you go. A blast from the past.
Blast from the past. All right. Well, Is that the socials done, Matthew?
That's probably about me. Yeah, the other one was just the all white squad got announced, and someone was quick to remind everybody reading it that there's 5 Auckland players and there's 2 Wellington players included. So there you go. So another 5-2 win for Auckland. So yeah, I guess that, of course. I mean, of course, there's probably going to be more Auckland players than Wellington players. So
Yeah.
It must be pretty rubbish being a Wellington fan at the moment with Auckland doing so well. It'd be horrible, wouldn't it?
They're getting to play Wrexham, though. Can you believe that?
I know.
Well, it's pre-season friendly, though.
Yeah, but it'd be great to see him. Yeah, it'd be great.
Well, who would we be watching? Who would we be looking at? The movie star guy?
Yeah.
I was going to say.
I don't care about him.
There's none of that. That's what it is.
He won't even come.
There's not a hell of a lot to see on the pitch, but it would be the old glitzing. I think one of them. I think. I don't think Reynolds would come, but I think the other bloke would come.
McCaffrey, whatever his name is.
McCaffrey fella. Yeah, I think he would come. But yeah, I was surprised as soon as I saw that pop up. I thought, Auckland are bound to get this game. So
I saw a link to Jamie Vardy with Wrexham. I don't know if there's any truth in that.
Well, you're gonna see those links, aren't you? Definitely.
Yeah, because he's been named in dispatches of when we think about our dream marquee signing. Obviously, everyone says Chris Wood, but Vardy's obviously actually at that age where he might. I don't know if he'd come down to New Zealand. Who knows? Goal scorer though.
Wow. Yeah, that would be amazing. He'd want so much money though, wouldn't he? His wages would be stupid.
Yeah. And we already sort of break our salary cap as we've tried to discuss a little bit before, but they're kind of like going to change it a little bit. But I think we've still got a couple more seasons of being able to spend kind of what we want by the sounds of it.
Yeah, that salary cap sucks really, because if you've got people that are willing to go down to the game, if Auckland can get 12, 15,000 attendance, then they're putting a fair bit of money into the coffers. So they should be able to, if they're generating that type of income, they should be able to use that income on persuading good players to come down. So that's my issue with the salary cap. It kind of, it puts, but then the beauty of it kind of keeps it fair, doesn't it? It doesn't allow a bigger team just to go crazy and wipe everybody out.
I'm genuinely fearful for this league. I have to say, looking at these attendances over in Australia, it's kind of like we mentioned it before. It feels so sad that they're all so sad while we're all so happy and up about football. This is such a contrast. Such a contrast at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, what is it? It's in its 20th season? 26th
it's the 20th season, yeah.
Season. So it's managed to keep on chugging along. But yeah, I mean, 5,000 people for a semi-final to get into the final. I mean, geez Louise. What's all that about? Yeah, it's horrific. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, hold on.
Oh.
Let's do a little bit of jiggery pokery. I usually
feel those.
No.
You never know what he's doing. It's very interesting.
There it is. There's a bit of free advertising, for a bit of AIA advertising.
AIA advertising. I have to say though, it has been lovely to watch football teams winning matches this year and watching Auckland FC and now watching Spurs pick up a trophy. So
hang on. You watch Spurs win one match. That's all you've.
Well, we won enough. We won enough to get. We won enough to get to Bilbao. That's all we needed. We've lost a lot of games, Actually,
you have lost a lot of games. A lot of games.
I kind of love. I love this Postecoglou guy though. He after he gave an interview, gave a bunch of interviews today, and he says, look, since about January, I've just had my eye on this cup. Like that's what he says. Like he literally said, We've been really eyeing this cup up, and we've been going for this cup, and there's the excuse for losing 20 league games on the bounce.
Probably still get sacked, won't he?
Yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting to see now. Be interesting to see. I guess seeing Postecoglou, he's come from the A League as an Aussie, doing well overseas. It must give. Even people like Stevie Corica, I think we interviewed him earlier in the season, and. And I said to him, what's your ambition? He says, well, the ambition of every manager is to keep moving up, so maybe Evange does well overseas. Someone like Steve Corica could get a gig overseas. Seems to be good enough, don't you reckon?
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah, why not? I got to say, Postecoglou has won this trophy by playing the opposite to the way that he always has played. he just defended, right? And
Yeah.
but to that point, the entire season he's been so naive in the way that he's played. He's just continued to try and play open football, and it's cost Spurs time and time again. And you kind of think, why aren't you more adaptable? And then he suddenly shows in the final that he's adaptable. So maybe, like, I don't get it. Why wouldn't you do it earlier?
I think that's more important to keeping his job. I think sacking him after winning a trophy is going to be tough, but he's just proven that, it's taken him 20 games to figure it out, but he has got that. He has got that in him. You know, he's not so hard-headed to say, I've got one way. That's how I like to play. I'm just going to keep on doing it. You know, he was smart enough to pick the right team with the right tactics, and
Well, I guess that brings us on to this weekend, and you know, how do we think Stevie Corica will set up? I mean, we say this a lot on this show.
Tough.
You know, we've got the advantage. We just, you know, what's our biggest kind of fear? You know, like
he's been. I think we've done quite well in this podcast, where I think we've managed to. I think some of the team that we've picked, or the way he's going to play, or the way we think he should change, he has gone. Remember, there's been a few shows where we've gone, you know, I think he should look at this and look at that, and we've made a joke to say that, is Steve actually watching the podcast? Is he there with his notepad out taking a few notes? But I mean, he took me by surprise in the first semi, and I think he's going to do it again. I don't know what I find it hard to predict how he's going to set him up for the second leg.
I would predict, give or take, the same team. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the injury situation is like or anything, or fatigue or whatever, but I don't think, unless Mata comes back, I don't know if he is. I think I think that team is adaptable enough to be solid, as we saw on last week, but also be attacking in general. You know, I don't think it'll be a 60% possession for Melbourne again, right? I think it'll be an attacking Auckland performance, and they can do that with that lineup and still be solid, you know. So if I was a betting man, I would put my money on pretty much the same team.
Yeah.
That's quite a good comment someone made down there, saying that Corica chose to come to Auckland because he's part of the, you know, that Foda group. So he has got the chance of, you know, if he does well here, which he is, if he wins the whole thing, and he maybe say, okay, go and do it again, or at least get to the finals or whatever in the next season, then we'll call your third year off and we'll say, we've got an opening at.
I know some.
I don't think he can go to Bournemouth, but he might be able to go to is it Aberdeen?
But we've got Hibernian and Laurent in France. But I don't know. I've heard of players kind of moving around. I don't know whether the managers move around in these syndicates much. I know backroom staff do. Nick Becker, the chief executive, actually was with Melbourne. I know Melbourne City aren't part of our thing, are they? So he's moved over. But obviously Paulson went between the Black Knights syndicate teams.
Yeah,
I can't see why not. I can't see why managers can't move if players can.
Yeah. But Stevie Corica, you know, he's young enough. He's been very successful now at 2 clubs. So it'd be interesting to see whether he would look to move overseas.
He's good. He's good at setting up a team up.
Yeah. Well, he's got some good players, but you've got to mold those players pretty quick. And right at the beginning of this podcast, we were like, how do you get a bunch of players and then get them to perform? And he's done it week after week.
Didn't think they were going to start as quick as they would. I thought they were going to at least have a few weeks where they were going to, you know, they might be on the end. Yeah, look for the performances. You know, a few of the results might not go your way, but at least it looks like there's a clear idea of what he's trying to do. But you know, what do you do? Win the first 6 games or something?
Exactly. Yeah, it was
crazy.
And it was built on solid, well organized, well drilled team that were making the most early season of the few chances they were getting, and as the season progressed, they've got better and better at creating chances and being a effective attacking unit whilst retaining that solidity. And so I'm kind of I got to take my hat off to Corica for what he's done. I think it's a phenomenal job, really. Anyone can see a team that didn't exist this time last year to champions and on the verge of the final of the cup. Brilliant. Is amazing. And some of these guys that they brought in, who you just, like we said it before when I've been on this pod, like, who knew that Mai was going to be as effective a player as he is, right? Who knew that Logie would turn out to score goal, like crucial goal after crucial goal? You know, the only one you could really put your hat on was probably Sakai, was always going to be, and Poulsen, right? And then the rest of them, it's like, okay. And you probably have expected more from the likes of Brimmer and whatnot, but yeah, he's done so well.
That's why I think they've done so well with Sakai, because you see there's other teams in this Australian league where they've gone and got, like, their overseas guys, Juan Mata, or they've got a Costa, but they're kind of they're kind of players. They've kind of come in, they've kind of come out. They've they've maybe a bit of an injury, or is it kind of working? Whereas with Sakai, you got so many things. You got your overseas player, you got the experience, you got a captain, you got a leader, you got someone that was, we always, the best ability is availability. He's played practically every single minute of every single game the whole season. So he's just, it's such good value for whatever they've paid for him. And I think, and they've got a second year out of him as well, which makes it so much easier to transition through to the next season. So,
and his value, I think his value in this semi-final is just huge. Being the leader, being the man who is gonna, who's been there, done it. Has can talk the younger players through. Isn't going to lose his head. Is going to give you a consistent performance the whole time. It's and someone who, if you're looking around the dressing room or whatever for a leader and you just see him just being calm, you're just like, all right, we got this.
Game winners as well.
I
think we've got game winners in there, haven't we, in this squad? We've got guys who can win matches. Guillermo Mai just impresses me every week, particularly. I just think he's really impressive most weeks.
100%. He you know what I like the most about Mai is that
he just works so hard, doesn't he?
He does, and he's got that vision as well. It was so cool to see that pass to Moreno when he hit the post, wasn't it? It was amazing to see that, and like, it was a brilliant bit of skill, great vision for the pass, threaded it through, and you're like, that is quality under that kind of pressure. Oh, look, it's Robbie. Hey, Robbie.
Robbie's here. Welcome to the show, Rob.
G'day, gents.
Yeah, he's actually quite un-South American, because he's not. He always looks for another player. He's always looking to try and link the play, move the ball. Kind of Moreno kind of fits that kind of, that kind of South American-y.
Enigma. He's an enigma, Moreno, isn't he?
A bit of an enigma, mercurial. Whereas May just, he just feels like, again, I'm watching League One football. He's the bloke that plays up front that, carries the ball and moves the ball on and connects everything up. So,
he's better than that.
Here he is.
All right, Robbie's turned up at the end of the party. We've obviously been talking about Melbourne victory quite a bit, Rob. And
well, I didn't get my ratings in.
No, you didn't get your rating. Well, let's do it while we're still all here, shall we?
You did your
the whole reason I came back.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Of course you did. Of course you did. Hold on. Here we go.
Put the ratings on for. Yeah. Robbie loves it. Robbie loves my ratings.
Robbie loves Matt's ratings. All right, I'm going to read them out for the Spotify audio listeners. We've got Poulsen 7, Sakai 8, Hall 8, Pinnaker 7, De Vries 9, Man of the Match, Rogerson 8, Gallios 7, Estrate 8, Francois 7.5, May 7.5, Randall 7. Rob, can you argue with those?
The only thing I can argue with is that the broadcast over in Australia gave player of the match to Strata, but
solid.
Pretty happy with that. I think you've just about nailed it.
Now, Robbie, you've had a baby this week. Congratulations.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm well and truly in girl dad mode. Another little girl came along, so yeah, I'll be happy if one ends up playing for Australia, the other one plays for New Zealand, then I think I'm pretty happy with that. Both camps covered.
I love the fact we've got a bit of a group chat going. Matt's in it, Robbie's in it, my wife's in it because she's helping with the potty, and Robbie said he didn't get to watch the game on Saturday. You know, his first kid was, well, you described her as an absolute punish at bedtime. Carried on till 9:30. Blah blah blah. You know, then you explained that the new baby came, and my wife. But I can fill you in. Some lads ran around for 90 minutes. Balls were kicked. A goal was scored. AFC won.
It was the most active I've seen Kate on the chat, and
she leaves. Hey, if we start talking football,
yeah, exactly. Less football chat, more baby chat. Yeah, that's fine.
That's right. With analysis like that, we'll get her on the pod one day, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Robbie, all right. Well, we're getting towards the end of the show. Let's talk about this game this weekend. You know, we're just saying, you know, we're 1-0. We couldn't be happier. Obviously, if we'd got a second one at the end, would have been great. How do you feel that Auckland FC are placed going into this game this weekend?
Pretty good. I'd be a lot happier if we had that second goal. Yeah, I still have no idea how Moreno missed that double poster. I've never seen that happen before. But otherwise pretty comfortable. Like, Victory didn't really fire a shot, and I think statistically they didn't even have a shot on target all night, which is a credit to the backline and Stevie Corica's organisation. So you can take a lot of confidence out of that. I think I would have been a lot happier with that second goal just to give us that little bit of a buffer. But, you know, it's all adding up. It's pointing in our favour. We got 30,000, you know, packed house. We're 90 minutes away. You know, we just have to finish the job. And I'm absolutely confident we can. Like, there's no, you know, the whole season, the confidence in what Bimby's doing with this squad, it just hasn't wavered, you know. I caught bits and pieces of the show so far and, you know, questioning some of the tactics and the personnel. But at every point he's been proven right. So why doubt it now? You know, it's 90 minutes. We've done it all season. What's one more game? And then we're in the bag, and then we're in the granny. It's remarkable.
We're in the granny. Is that what we say? Granny. Is that the colloquial expression?
Over on this side of the ditch, yes. The granny. Yeah, in the granny probably doesn't sound very good, does it? Yeah.
Dale in between two semis earlier on, and now we got in the granny.
Yeah, it's too much.
That's what Moody would say, wouldn't it? In the granny.
Yeah, in the granny. Yep. Yeah.
We're in the granny. Yeah, we're 90 minutes from being in the granny. Yeah.
Just spotted on the chat as well. Auckland FC, our mate. How about Paulson doing those fake dives at the end, the trolling? I mean, that 100%. When you see AP doing that, there's a level of comfortability and confidence. He can start taking the piss. So, you know, yeah, I'm absolutely confident. Actually,
we didn't look overboard at all. Yeah, go on.
While I remember, have you touched on Daniel Lazzani's comments yet tonight?
We touched on it, but we didn't elaborate. Obviously, he said that we were one-dimensional. That's the headline, right?
That was the big takeaway from it. Look, I watched it about 3 or 4 times and laughed harder every time I watched it. Yeah, it's. I'm not going to hammer him just because I like seeing those personalities come out. And look, he's just played 90 minutes, a tough game, and he's come out on the wrong side of it. So of course he's going to have something to say. But yeah, mate, pull your head in. One-dimensional. If you're gonna say that, how about not be the defender that De Vries beats to put a nothing ball in? You know, it's your fault that we scored. It's one-dimensional, but it's one very, very good dimension, and we beat you. So
exactly,
shut the F up. But at the same time, I love it. You know,
yeah,
I want to hear more of that because it just generates more chat. You know, and I 100% guarantee Steve Corica will have that up in the changing room as they walk out.
Yeah.
Let's throw another.
They weren't one-dimensional in Melbourne. I mean, they were. There was one of their best performances. I thought. You know, they were at it. You know,
yeah. And the thing is, like, you could call Victory one-dimensional in the sense that it's basically their game plan: get it wide to Arzani and Valupale, and they'll cut in and have a shot on goal.
Although they didn't do much of that against us, did they?
No.
Did bugger all. Yeah.
No.
But anyway, I just wanted to get that out.
You know, to be fair, he is a good player, isn't he? If he gets on his game, he can cause problems. So he, you know, the hype before the game about him wasn't unjustified. It's just that I think the way that Auckland played really did a good job of nullifying all those threats, right? But he's still for this game, he would still be the one to watch for them, right?
100%.
Yeah,
100%. So I get it why he's, you know, he was frustrated, and straight after a game, you're going to say some pretty silly things sometimes. But I just thought it was very rich, calling us one-dimensional. So anyway, play on.
What's this post on? We've got a new poster on here. David Newell, Liverpool fan here. But you've created a problem. You lot winning has saved United money on the barbecue. That means they have more money to spend on players. Congratulations to Spurs.
There you go.
There you go. Robbie's a Man U fan. Commiserations.
Of course, he's a Man U fan. He's from Australia.
Yeah.
Via New Zealand, actually. Get it right, please.
Get it right, Nathan.
I've been to Old Trafford. I've seen United play once. Anyway.
Look,
that's why
if Spurs are winning trophies, anyway. If Spurs are winning trophies, anything's possible in the world. Anything's possible in the world tonight.
I'll be 100% honest. I was genuinely torn this morning because I'm a believer in Ange. I love the fact that he's doing this on the biggest stage possible. The fact that it's for Spurs. I mean, nobody's perfect, but look, I did want him. I want him to get the success he deserves, because I mean the club's kind of treated him pretty poorly this season. You know, I don't think many can really argue with that. And look, he delivered on what he said. He won a trophy in his second season. I think, you know, I think he should walk away. Just find a club that deserves him, that he deserves. And you'll see the best of him.
The club's treated him badly. The fans have given him stick because we've lost 20 league games. I mean, what have the club done to him?
Just not really backed him. It's Daniel Levy, like, and this is a bit getting a bit off track here. But look, the fact that how many coaches have they been through under Levy's stewardship?
Oh yeah, Spurs are basket.
It's not the coach's problem.
It's a basket case. It's but football is football, and I sat there and today I watched, you know, my team I've supported for the best part of 4 decades, and I saw them lift a trophy, and that's football. Being a football fan is sticking by your team and going for years and years and years without anything. So I mean, what's happening in Auckland FC is phenomenal that we're getting this level of success in the first season, really, isn't it?
Yep.
So, predictions for the game this weekend?
Oh yeah.
Who's going to go first? Well, Robbie, why don't you go first? You've come late to the party.
Okay, perfect. So just so Matt can complain about his selection after me.
That's right. You'll take Matt's prediction.
I think.
Yeah, you always throw mine straight out the window.
He hasn't even spoken yet.
No, I mean, sorry, no, he doesn't throw my one out the window. Whatever I'm thinking, Robbie's got a really good way of like, actually, mine doesn't make any sense anymore. I need to rethink what I'm thinking. So, carry on. Besides that,
yeah, okay. Look, I think most of the first half will be pretty cagey, but as soon I see Auckland scoring, and then I kind of see floodgates opening a little bit, just because I think that wave of 30,000 will carry them home, and I think victory might crumble a little bit. They do have their captain and centre back Miranda coming back, and that's a big in. Casey Boss should be back as well. He was under a bit of an injury cloud, so that will give them a little bit of a boost. But I can't see them holding out for 90 minutes, and I can't see them scoring. More importantly, so I see Auckland by a couple, in all honesty, and we'll be in the granny.
Yeah, get in the granny. All of us in the granny.
Get in the granny.
I tell you what, Dale, that just writes itself. If that isn't a reel of Robbie just saying get in the granny, just over again. Drop
It was Dale.
Yeah,
It might be lost. It might be lost on CapCut. The AI, it might not pick it out.
Just drop it on the beat as well. Just like get in the granny.
Get in the granny. Get in the granny.
Remix it. Yeah. Hold on. Here's a viral idea. Hold on.
Yeah, just get that. Put that down. Just spitball in here. Yeah.
All right. So 2-0 straight into the granny for us. Go on, Nathan. What do you reckon's going to happen? Are we?
Please buy a drink first.
How are we going to manoeuvre our way into the granny?
We're going to get into the granny. Right. Yeah. Good question.
Labouring this now.
I in some respects I do agree with Rob. I think it will be cagey. I actually think that Auckland will definitely score. I think that, but I also kind of have a feeling that that Melbourne will score. So I'm gonna go 2-1 Auckland. I think it'll be tight. I think 2-1 Auckland. I think it'll be tight, like Rob says, and I think that there will probably be some level of uncomfortableness because that seems to be the way of football when you're, as a Villa fan in general. But I think that Auckland will see it through. I think it'll probably be a little bit more nervous than we're probably expecting it to be. That'd be my guess.
Okay, a bit of a nervy game, you think?
There's a lot on the line. It's a big game.
Yeah.
And 30,000 fans works really well if you're doing really well. It also works against you if you are 0-0 or go back behind by a goal, or and that can turn the tide. So,
yeah, well, that'll be interesting if we go down a goal in that first half in front of such a big crowd. Yeah. All right. 2-1, Nathan. Matthew?
I'm thinking tight first half. So 0-0. 0-0 in the first half. Just keep things tight.
We ever heard that before?
Yeah, I know. Again, that was another one that I bored anybody that would prepare to listen to, but it's going to be a 0-0 first leg, but clearly. And then I think Auckland will get one 50-odd minute. Melbourne might get one towards the end when things get a bit loose or whatever. Yeah, it'll be 1-1, and we'll go through 2-1.
1-1.
So 1-1, yeah.
1-1 again.
That thing is, the one thing I would say about this is Melbourne are going to have to come at Auckland at some point. They're going to have to, because they're losing, right? They're going to have to do something.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's one of those things where we've seen some shocking defensive performances by Auckland at times this season at Mount Smart, right? So I just feel like if they're determined enough and they may well get something, but I don't think it'll be enough. That's kind of what I feel like you're saying there, Matt.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I feel I'll have my go. I feel that I think Nathan's a little bit right. I think victory will come out. I think there'll be a calamitous start from Auckland. I think victory might go up. They may even get a couple of goals. And we will turn it round. 3-2 Auckland. It'll be goals galore. It'll be one of the famous A-League games, and there'll be a lot of goals. It'll be frenetic. It'll be a messy game, but Auckland will pull through. Goals.
Well,
I'm predicting goals.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
it would be great for the new.
Well, none of us know, do we?
For the neutral, Melbourne to score first would be the ideal situation, wouldn't it? That would just.
I think if Melbourne score first, there'll be goals in this game. Yeah, if Auckland kind of close it out to half time, like you say, then it might just be a low scoring game. But if victory come out the blocks and get a goal,
I think if it's 0-0 by half time, it's done. But I think if Melbourne victory get a goal in that first 10-15 minutes or something, then that's really going to start to put things will.
Yeah, well, we can't assume it's always going to go the same way with Auckland. We can't assume it's going to be tight and we're going to sit on it, and then sooner or later they're going to have to win a battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, also victory.
They got goals in them.
Victory were poor, weren't they? Are they going to? Can they play? They've gotten this far. Can they really put? They're not going to play as bad as they. They're not going to play as bad as they did in the first leg. I thought they were just, they they kept the ball well and they moved it around, and I thought they gave Auckland a few problems, but there was just nothing,
didn't do anything with it.
They just didn't do anything with it. Yeah, as we've talked about, they've got to figure out a way. They know they can keep the ball from Auckland, and they know they can match them in the middle of the park. They've just got to try and figure out a way of how to get the ball in the back of the net, really. So, yeah,
which has kind of been their Achilles heel all season. Like, they look so great going forward, all the tricks and flicks and stuff, creating chances, but they just for most of the season haven't been able to finish them off. Which is back to my point from before. I don't see them scoring, especially against that back four.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially against Auckland, they just give nothing away, do they? Yeah,
and look, the fact that's 3 games now. The series of games that we played against Victory, they haven't scored against us. Last week, 0 shots on target. It's
but Robbie,
it all points to one thing.
No, but I would say that the first semi-final, you're trying not to lose, right? So they're at home, and it's until Auckland score their goal, like no one's really ripping up any trees. But now they've got to.
They've got to go
out.
for it. They've got to go ding dong. They've got, this is it. You know,
they're not coming for a draw. They're not. They've got to score goals.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. But like, sorry, you go.
I say, I'll quickly one, but a team that's quite similar to that, who I feel have given Auckland the most trouble, have come out really fast against them and direct with them. Is Western United. Those guys are probably the only team that I've seen have just gone. We just go straight at you. We're gonna, from the kickoff, they just don't let Auckland get in their stride, and they just hit them so fast and so quick and so early. And we've seen Auckland rattled. That was my first live game. And,
for sure.
Geez, they were 3-0 down like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a valid point, but like it's I think the weight of evidence on this season, that's been Victory's problem, is scoring goals. Regular season, sure, compared to a finals game, but just based on the eye test, it's like we've seen this happen so many times throughout the season. I just don't know if everything's going to click at this point. In the second league.
Are they one of the lowest scorers? Are they? Or anyway, are the people that made the play are the ones that made the playoffs? Are they one of the lower ones?
Let me have a quick look. They were, I think, from memory, yes. Of the teams that made the top 6, Victory had the second lowest. Actually, there you go, 44 goals on the season. So Melbourne City had the worst at 41. Melbourne Victory 44, second worst of the top 6.
Yeah. So
and even then across the rest of the league, that puts them roughly just outside the bottom 4, really, for goals scored. So
What's that compared to Auckland?
We got 50 plus goals, Auckland?
49 on the regular season. They're marginally better.
Yeah.
So
just super tight
defense, though.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, built on defense.
All right, okay. That signals the end of the show.
Well, your camera, Dale.
Oh, cameraman. Oh, you knew it was going before I did. What are you?
I thought he was like pounding us down. Oh, that was what was happening.
What's happening here?
That was like that. Like we were talking about old TV when they used to have that little black and white flicky thing in the corner, so you knew the adverts.
Don't get me
into
coming. This camera. So it's a lovely camera, but
you could go to the toilet. It's like, the adverts are coming. Quick, go to the toilet. Yeah. I'll put the kettle on.
All right, don't forget we've also self-destruct for a second. Jesus.
Don't forget before we go, we've also got a pair of tickets to give away. If you want to be in to win a pair of tickets from Nice Job Report, then comment on any of our videos. I'm in, and make sure you subscribe. We're keen to get the subscriber numbers up on this channel to keep it going. Let's get it up, and so that draw will be made Saturday morning, 10 a.m. And so,
what do I have to do again, Dale? What do I have to do?
You've got to subscribe to the channel, Nathan.
Subscribe,
if you haven't done already, and you've got to go to one of our videos and comment, "I'm in." All right, we will find the I'm ins. ChatGPT tells us, and
right. Will you accept "I am in" or is it "I'm in"?
No.
What's the English?
If nothing else, I'm a stickler for proper punctuation. I'm in. Is it?
And
Yeah, and don't say I'm in the granny. It's I'm in.
yeah,
I'm in, actually,
that's got it.
if you write I'm in the granny, I tell you I'll give you the tickets if you put I'm in the granny.
Auckland FC straight in it. Yep.
Yeah, I love that. That has got to be. You've got to cut something for that with a beat over.
Hey,
the top.
you got to subscribe
That's
to the
it.
YouTube channel. YouTube has to be YouTube. Apologies to
Yeah,
Facebook, but
yeah,
YouTube's
yes.
You're being told. You've been told.
You're being told. Yeah.
Yeah.
The granny. 'Cause this is
What is
That's
it?
it. That needs
Oh,
to
what
be
have
the
I
name-
done? I apologise. I'm so sorry.
That needs to be the name of the episode. Can we like change?
I kind
it?
of feel like this
Gotta
could be a
be the name of the
chant in the
episode.
port
Yeah.
starting, there'd be some sort of linguistics which
Yeah.
ends up about us all being in the
Yeah.
granny. All right. Well,
you.
Love it. Best one so far. This has to
that's
be.
the best one. That's the best one.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, Nath. Good to hear from you, mate. Again,
for that.
always insightful. Matthew, thank you very much. Robbie, good to hear from you, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone
Same as
enjoy the
him.
game. Rob, you'll be watching from Sydney somewhere, presumably.
Probably cradling a 10-day-old or something like that. Yeah. So.
It's a beautiful time. Not a lot of sleep, but it's a beautiful time.
Oh, yeah. All the best.
All right. Thank you very much. That's a nice job of Port. We will see you at the game up the Port. Come on, Auckland. Let's get us.
Come on, you Auckland boys.
Get in the granny.
You're watching Nice Drop of Port, where the footy is hotter than Matt's head on a hot sunny day. Like, subscribe, or we'll tell your mates you're a Phoenix fan.